poor girl promised. "I will pay you back when I am rich." Lila had just lost her parents, hungry and with nowhere to go. Michael Hart took her in and fed her despite what the neighbors said. 23 years later, his act of kindness came back when he least expected it and changed everything. Before we continue, if this is your first time watching one of our videos, we'd love for you to hit that subscribe button. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us bring you even more powerful stories. Now let's begin. The farm sat at the far edge of the county, where paved roads gave up and dirt took over. It was not large, not impressive, just enough land to keep a man busy from dawn to dark. Michael Hart had worked it alone for years. The fences leaned, the shed roof sagged. Still, the rows were planted straight and the soil stayed alive because he refused to let it die. One afternoon, while hauling a bucket from the pump, he noticed movement near the trees. Not animals, too slow, too unsure. He set the bucket down and waited. A girl stepped out, no older than 10, thin arms hanging loose, shirt stiff with dried sweat. Her shoes were cracked at the sides. She did not run when she saw him. She just stood there, eyes darting like she expected to be chased. "What are you doing on my land?" Michael asked. "I'm not stealing," she said quickly. "I just got lost." He studied her. Dirt under her nails, lips pale. Hunger showed itself in small ways when you had seen it enough times. "What's your name?" "Lila." "Where are you coming from?" She pointed back toward the road. "Anywhere but there." He did not press. He told her to sit on the porch while he finished his work. When he came back, he placed a plate in front of her. Beans, cornbread, nothing fancy. Lila ate like someone afraid the food might disappear if she slowed down. When she realized he was watching, she apologized with her mouth full. "You sick?" he asked. She shook her head, then hesitated. "Sometimes." That night, she slept on a folded blanket near the stove. By morning, she was still there. By the third day, she stopped asking when she should leave. Michael never said she could stay. He just handed her small jobs. "Carry this. Hold that. Sit still." Weeks passed, then months. Lila followed him everywhere, learning the farm without being taught. She learned when not to ask questions. When food ran short, Michael ate less. When she fell ill one winter, fever burning through her, he walked miles for medicine. One night, while coughing kept her awake, Lila whispered, "When I get rich, I'll pay you back." Michael smiled, tired but real. "You focus on getting better. Life collects its debts in its own time." She did not know then how true that was. Lila became part of the farm without ceremony. She learned the rhythm by watching. When Michael rose, she rose. When he paused, she waited. He showed her how to rinse grit from beans, how to test soil by smell, how to tell rain from wind by the way birds lifted. She listened more than she spoke. That pleased him. Food stayed tight. Michael stretched meals by habit, cutting portions without announcing it. Lila noticed anyway. She began pretending she was full, leaving bread behind so he would eat it later. When he caught on, he scolded her once, then let it slide. Survival made its own rules. School officials came after a year. Questions, forms, side glances at the girl who was not his. Michael signed what he could. When lunches became a problem, he packed extra biscuits wrapped in cloth. Shoes wore thin, faster than he could replace them. He stitched soles late at night, fingers stiff, needle-biting skin. He no longer felt. The farm aged with him. Seasons passed. Lila grew taller, shoulders widening. Her voice dropped unevenly. She learned which fence posts leaned and which could still hold weight. She learned where the ground flooded first, and where corn survived longest. The land raised her as much as he did. People talked quietly at the store, at church. Some called him kind, others called him foolish. No one offered help. Michael learned to read meaning in pauses, in smiles that did not reach eyes. He kept working. When Lila turned 15, a black sedan rolled down the dirt road and stopped by the gate. A man stepped out, posture rigid, hair silvered, but eyes sharp. Lila went still. "That's my grandfather," she said. The conversation stayed on the porch, legal words. Custody, Missed years. A life Lila was supposed to have. Michael listened without interrupting. When Lila looked at him, fear plain on her face, he nodded. You go, he said. You don't waste a chance meant for you. She hugged him hard, arms shaking. I won't forget, she said. I promise. He pressed a folded note into her hand. Her name, the farm's address. Just in case, he said. After she left, silence settled heavy. Michael worked longer, his back bent deeper. By his late 60s, trucks started coming more often. Men in clean boots offered numbers that sounded generous but felt wrong. He refused everyone. Neighbors sold. Fields disappeared behind fences. Signs went up. Inspectors arrived with clipboards, tapping boards, circling his barn. Letters followed. Non-compliant, unsafe, court notices. People said he should have sold earlier. That fighting was pointless. Michael kept planting anyway. The eviction date sat circled in red on his calendar. He stared at it for a long time, then closed the book. The enforcement convoy arrived late morning. 2 county trucks rolled in first, tires chewing up the edge of his field. A flatbed followed. Then a white van with tinted windows. Dust hung in the air and settled on the crops like quiet insult. Michael stood near the porch, hands clasped low, eyes fixed on the men. He recognized one of them, the inspector. Same clipboard, same expression. He avoided Michael's gaze and started talking to the deputy instead. The deputy unfolded papers and read from them without looking up. Procedure, noncompliance, court order. Michael listened. He did not interrupt. They moved quickly. Chairs dragged out. Boxes dumped. A framed photo slipped from a stack and cracked against the dirt. No one picked it up. A low thudding roar cut through the air. Wind whipped loose papers. Heads turned. A helicopter descended over the far field, flattening crops as it landed. Dust exploded outward. Engines shut off. Silence dropped hard. A man stepped out. Early 40s. Clean shoes, dark jacket, calm posture. He scanned the scene slowly. His jaw tightened. What's going on here? He asked. The inspector recovered first. County matter, he said quickly. Property violations. The man's eyes moved to Michael. He walked over and crouched, keeping space. Sir, he said quietly. What's your name? Michael looked up, face streaked with dirt and tears. Lila Hart, he said quietly. The name did not register at first. Michael stared at her, blinking like his eyes were not working right. Dust, noise, ache in his knees. Lila was a memory, a thin girl on a porch. Not a woman standing in front of him with a helicopter behind her. You don't need to say anything, she said quickly. She offered her hand. He hesitated, then took it. Her grip was steady, stronger than he expected. She helped him to the porch step before turning back to the others. The inspector tried to speak again. Words spilling faster now. Lila cut him off by raising one finger. Not angry, just final. She made calls. Compliance files appeared. Auditors, federal oversight, real-time injunctions. Within hours, the eviction order was frozen. Trucks shut down. Boxes replaced. Lila stayed. She walked the land with Michael, slow, listening. She remembered more than she admitted. The farm did not become flashy. It became secure, protected, locked into preservation. Neighbors came by. Some apologized without words. Others brought food. Michael accepted what felt honest and ignored the rest. By the first clear morning, Lila stood at the edge of the field, watching the soil turn under a modern plow. Michael pressed his palms together, feeling the vibration travel up his arms. You kept your word, she said. I just showed up late, he replied. You came when it mattered, she said. Lila set up a trust that required no signatures, no leverage, no conditions, only care. The girl he fed became the woman who shielded him. The land stayed his. The promise stayed whole. For the first time in years, Michael went inside before dark, leaving the door unlocked, trusting the quiet. The farm breathed easy again. So did he. At last, without fear. Finally. If the story moved you, remember this. Small kindness can outlive time, power, and money. Someone you help today may be carrying your name for life. Subscribe for more stories where quiet choices return with unstoppable force.